Hi, I'm Bethany Huff, and today I will provide a presentation on two cases regarding defamation. The first case I will focus on is the New York Times versus Sullivan. In this case, there are two parties. There is the New York Times and a commissioner of Montgomery, Alabama named L.B. Sullivan. There are several facts that led to their dispute, the first being that the New York Times released a Heed Their Rising Voices advertisement that maliciously started a wave of terror for Southerners actively involved with the civil rights. The ad was never fact-checked with an independent organization, which allowed for the ad to indirectly accuse Sullivan of sending out the ad to begin with. Since Sullivan was one of three commissioners in Montgomery, Alabama, it was safe for him to assume that he was directly responsible for said ad due to his position of being the supervisor of the police department. This in turn allowed the public to believe that the ad absolutely came from Sullivan's office, therefore damaging his image and his duties there within. The elements of defamation, or what Sullivan had to prove, was that the ad was purposely made in contempt of Sullivan's position in office. He also needed to prove that the information was curated with actual malice within the advertisement. The final decision made on this case was that the ad was found to be libelous per se, meaning that the New York Times had in fact defamed Sullivan's character due to the fact the ad went against the First and 14th Amendment. Sullivan was then awarded $500,000 in damages. After looking at New York Times versus Sullivan, we will shift our focus to Gertz versus Welsh. In this particular case, we are looking at a public figure named Elmer Gertz, who applied the New York Times standard created by New York Times versus Sullivan in 1964 against Robert Welsh Incorporated, the printing company for American Opinion magazine. Gertz was an attorney who was representing a Chicago policeman named Richard Nuccio, who was convicted of murder. American Opinion released an article a year after Nuccio was convicted of a second-degree murder. The article was aiming to discredit local police forces and claimed that Gertz was a communist frontier and had a criminal record, and finally that Gertz was a part of a National Lawyers Guild, which was described in the magazine as a communist organization that planned communist attacks on the Chicago police in 1968 demonstrations. American Opinion did not do anything to confirm the accuracies of the allegations against Gertz. Instead, the managing editor claimed that the author had done extensive research into Richard Nuccio's case. I personally believe that the allegations affected Gertz's reputation greatly, despite all of the allegations being false. In that point in time, there was a great scare surrounding communism. By being put into that category, even though it was not true, he lost any potential new business just because of that association. That effectively hurt his personal brand. His current clients may have decided to find another, quote, non-communist attorney. Also, the damages to his brand provide a loss of trust within his community. Additionally, his business could have suffered detrimentally because of the loss of business or decline in services, all because of this one article. There would have been several things I would have done differently had I been the publisher. First and foremost, I would have ensured my staff thoroughly researched the article before it went to bed. I also would have required a fact check to ensure that the research matched the facts. If neither one of those things had been met, I would have cut the article from the magazine. In the state of Delaware, it does not have a specific defamation law. It is only based off of tort law, according to Senator Brian Pettyjohn of the 19th District of Delaware. However, in Title 19, Section 708, Paragraph 10, it does mention defamation only in employment practices. Between these two cases, the biggest thing I would take away is to seek the truth. If I research, provide proof or evidence of what I'm writing about while reporting with accuracy and care, I won't find myself in either one of these situations. I believe that if I am transparent with my reporting, I won't defame anybody or have them try to defame me.